Welcome, everybody, to the first podcast of Bankstandin. There's no RuneScape podcasts out there that I'm aware of. I don't know. I guess there used to be like a Zybez podcast in the good old days, but that's long gone, I'm pretty sure. So I decided, you know what? There's things to talk about. There's discussions to have, so why not start one up? So here we are. For those who don't know me, my name is Jimmy, spelled with a 1. Don't mess that up. I've played RuneScape since maybe around 2006. I started making videos, mostly machinima comedy skits, probably around 2013, 2014. I'm pretty awful at the game. I suck at it, but I do like to have fun with it. So here we are. I love building the community. I have a Discord. Links below, by the way. I have a clan chat, J1mmy, if you want to come in there and have a grand old time. So there's that. I have a co-host here with me, goes by the name of Hellwind. Hellwind, if you want to tell them a little bit about yourself and who you are and why you're credible to be here somehow.
Well, for one, I'm mainly here to make your life a living nightmare. I mean, I think that's pretty standard. But I've been playing around since about 2007, around there, give or take. So I'm surprised you actually been playing longer than me. But you know, I'm still better than you than the game. But anyway, I started live streaming recently, actually. So that's been going fantastic.
Oh, how'd you start that up? How'd you start getting into live streaming?
Well, yeah, no, I was kind of gifted a computer not too long ago, and yeah, you know, it's always been a dream of mine to get into streaming, and it's been going pretty fucking well so far.
That's awesome.
It's been about a month since I started, and it's been a fucking blast.
Hell yeah.
And yeah. Like I said earlier, I think I'm better at the game than you, and you know, I like doing AFK shit.
I'd like to add that you have a Max Cape tattoo on your arm, an actual one.
Yeah.
So
you're not wrong there.
That's.
I mean, I do also have an Entei tattoo wearing a red party hat on Amulet of Fury.
Yeah,
there's that too.
You are actually a bizarre human being, and
I respect that.
I don't. Okay, perfect. Well, there you are. We're your co-host for this shit show of a podcast. It's gonna be a fun time.
Can't wait.
Basically, here's our aim behind them and why we're starting this. Mostly, I like to talk a lot, and so does Hellwind. We can't shut up most of the time, so we're just gonna kind of spew our shit brains to you guys, and you know, maybe entertain you guys while you're skilling or doing whatever you do on the computer, your filthy hands. So we're gonna talk about what's going on with RuneScape, the state of the game, recent updates, future updates, suggestions of what we have, even though they We're probably not the most credible people to suggest things for the game, but why not?
No, you're not the most credible.
Okay, but I might have a good idea or two up my sleeve, but we'll get to that. We'll talk about a lot of interesting topics in the RuneScape world throughout its time. The dark side of it is my favorite thing to talk about, with luring and gambling and scamming and phishing and all that stuff. That's a pretty weird side of YouTube that people like to RuneScape that I like to delve into, and everyone likes to delve into, just because you only really know about it unless you're in it. Everything else is just kind of speculation, so that's fun. We'll talk a lot about the evolution of the game, and where Jagex kind of fucked up and where they did okay and where they did great. So we'll talk all about that, all the updates. And we'll talk about some RuneScape video making, the content creations, the media, where it's come from and how it's, completely evolved into utter trash since the golden days. But we'll get into that another time. We want to get guests on here. That's another big thing. We want to interview people. We want to interview, big-time PKers, the content creators, the streamers, maybe some Jagex moderators in due time if they don't completely hate us by then.
We'll see.
And basically anyone with an interesting story to tell about the game and who they are and what they've contributed and all that fun stuff. So that's where we are, and that's what we want to do. So I think it'll be a good time. I think if we get the ball rolling on this podcast, then things will things will work out. We'll have a good time with this. We'll hopefully get to know a lot more members of the community, get people involved, and get some insight. This is a great game. It's a good community. We want people to really have a full understanding of who they're playing with and what's out there, who's out there, what's been done, what can happen. I don't know. There's a shit ton of things that we want to talk about. So here we are.
Let's do it.
And that's that. So welcome to Bankstandin. So let's get right into it. Big thing to talk about. Our first topic ever on the podcast. Let's go ahead and address Old School Mobile. That's it's a huge thing. It's a huge thing for the game. It's a mark in history. Little background information on it. It was announced for a winter 2017 release, which obviously did not happen. Became one of the biggest memes ever of, longest winter 2017 ever. The beta.
Some glorious memes.
Glorious memes came out of that on Reddit and Twitter, but it is what it is. Beta for the Android phones for you sorry folks who use those somehow.
Hey, fuck you.
I gotta be honest. I've never tried using an Android. I still just.
It's actually not too bad.
I've heard it's not too bad, but
you get used to it, but it's not too bad.
I've been completely brainwashed by Apple my whole life, so here I am, just kind of dilly-dallying with that.
Yeah, eat a dick.
Yeah, perfect. So they got the beta. It looked pretty good throughout the summer, and it was fully released to the public at the end of October of 2018. A little late there for the release date, but it's out. It's here, and we have it.
Good shit.
So I kind of looked at a website just before mobile came out. Old School Runescape population was averaging maybe 60,000, 70,000 people a day during good hours. It might have gotten up there to 100K a few times, but it was pretty rare.
Not really.
Nah, whatever. It was.
I think the highest I ever saw was like 89K.
89K. Okay, yeah. So it wasn't booming, but it was still good for Old School and where it is and where it's come.
Oh, absolutely.
So yeah, but so now mid-November, post mobile release, about maybe 2-3 weeks into the mobile release for the public, we were hitting over 100K steady players throughout the days, hitting peaks at 150. I think it might have gotten to 160K. I think it did
at one point.
I think at one time it did. But point is, there is a shit ton of people playing the game now. So
it's fantastic.
That's awesome, and it reached the top of the App Store. It surpassed Fortnite. That shitstorm.
That's amazing in itself, right there.
First of all, if you play Fortnite on your phone, I feel terrible for
wrong with you?
Because I've tried playing Fortnite on the phone and it is abysmal. I don't understand how people actually.
I tried it on the PC and it's abysmal.
Yeah, PC. I've played it on the PC. It's a good time, but it's also just, I don't know, man. You just get mollywopped by fucking 9-year-olds.
Rejected Disney assets.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, I don't have too much personal experience with the mobile app. I don't really go on it. I have it, but
how dare you?
I don't grind time 24/7 like Hellwind, so I don't really find myself high alking at the bank or doing fletching or something. Well,
that's your first mistake, is high alking at the bank on mobile. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
I don't know what else to do on it, but it's
wood cutting, fishing, like all kinds of AFK skills you can do on there.
All right, well,
I'll be out and about fucking AFKing, like, I don't know, barbarian fishing or AFK woodcutting, like on I don't know, teak trees or something like that.
I don't even do that on the PC. I don't do anything on this game.
Well, yeah, you're Jimmy, of course.
I suck. I like to sit around and fuck with people at the Grand Exchange. I like to bank stand, hence the name of this thing. So anyway, what does this mean for Old School RuneScape? First of all, it's badass. It was a great idea. I'm glad they implemented it. But I
don't utilize it.
I don't use it personally, but I'm glad they put it in. There's tons of people playing. There's tons of new people. There's new worlds. I don't know how many new worlds they put in, but
I think it was like 50 new worlds.
Yeah, 50 new worlds, and they're all above 350 people at all times, pretty much.
Oh yeah, it's amazing.
It's cool to see. it's awesome to see
It's
that.
kind of a bitch and a half though when you're doing Slayer and need a world for something.
Yeah, the worlds are pretty
That's
populated.
a bit of a bitch and a half, but I mean,
yeah,
I guess you got to deal with it now.
not a lot of empty spaces for skills anymore, which kind of blows. But other than that, the player count, I mean, it's staying up. You can be anywhere in the world and doing your real life shit, and go on RuneScape and play it. I mean, it's kind of cool.
Dang it, then get fired from work for being on RuneScape.
I think I would have cried of happiness if I somehow had a smartphone when I was in middle school and literally just fiending, scratching at my skin all day, trying to run home and play the game again.
Oh, exactly.
If I was that age,
for that.
Oh my god, I would have been in actual heaven. So that's awesome. I mean, I know most people still get like that, and they want to get home from work or get home from school and hop on the game, so they don't have to wait as long. They can go poop on the toilet and play it, and they can hide under their desk while their teacher's not looking and play the game. It's badass. It's cool.
Oh, absolutely.
So getting to that, I mean, there's a ton of new players. There's a shit ton of new players. It's easy to get now. I mean, the game is free to play at first, and so that's obviously going to draw a lot of people in. $11, by the way. So it's going to draw a lot of new people in, and it's easy to download. It's easy to play and create an account and get into it. So they are here. There's a lot of new people in the game for the first time in a really long time.
Be friendly to the new people, please.
Yeah, you be friendly, or you can teach them some lessons. Take that how you want it. I don't know. That being said, there's a few outcomes for these new players that should probably be talked about, because I mean, it's badass that they're here. It's cool that they're here. But I mean, they're getting it on their phone. They're playing it on their phone. They're giving it the old app store try. Just because, maybe they've played it before when they were a kid. Maybe they heard their friend talking about it. They might be in it for the nostalgia for a second. So, I mean, they could keep playing it on their phone actively. That's a possibility. I don't really know how much investment people are going to have just playing off their phone without going to the PC and converting. Which, I mean, they could go and convert to the computer and actually become a player and play RuneScape, because I feel like if you're just playing on your phone...
I've wondered that too, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you're just playing on your phone, you're not really getting the full RuneScape experience. You're not really... I don't know, you're not... I don't count you as a RuneScape player if you're just playing on your phone. That's just me. I mean, I guess you are in the game and you are playing, you're doing your thing, but
you're not just doing everything though. You're not getting the full experience at all.
You can't run around. I mean, the social aspect of RuneScape is what makes it the game, I guess. I mean, that's especially thinking back to when you first started and you first logged on the computer and you started talking to people, and the social aspect of the game is what makes it what it is. I don't think you can really get that through the phone, because one, it's just terrible to type on that thing.
Oh, it sucks.
and I feel like when you're on the phone, you're really focused on just going to do a skill, or you don't really care about talking to people. You don't want to go and try to meet friends. You're just going towards getting a quest done, or doing shitty skills. I don't know, but I don't know. I think
I agree with that completely.
That being said, I think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to give the game a shot, play it for a week on free to play, and then
quit.
Just quit, never play again, delete it off their phone, and go back to being that guy that says, "You still play RuneScape, you fucking weirdo." Jeez, dude.
This would be like the second month of Pokemon Go coming out. You're still playing it?
Yeah, exactly. Says the guy who's avidly playing that, going on walks in the park. I don't know.
Yeah?
Yeah. Anyway, so I think there's going to be a handful of people doing both, either converting to the computer or just giving up entirely, and probably a handful that are just going to do it on mobile, just, passing time. But that's fine. That's okay.
Oh yeah, of course.
Which, I mean, it's active. There's active people. I'd
rather have that than bots, honestly. So
yeah, I mean, it's more populated, so it's cool. It's a good deal. Which, I mean, that means the game itself, Oldschool Runescape, is it's far from dead. I don't think
it's growing. It's not stopping yet.
No, it's on an incline. It's I think on the statistics for the daily thing, I think it saw its first decline since September, which it was a very small decline. It could have gone up by now. I didn't look at it this morning, but it's still way more than it was on average throughout the summer and before that. So it's cool. It's not dead. I mean, I know for a while I was kind of worried about the game slowly just coming to a decline and, you know, people starting to give up on RuneScape and moving on, but that's clearly not the case here.
No, I was worried about that too, but not at all the case.
No.
It's great. It's great to see. I'm happy about it.
Yeah. It's cool.
This game is my life. Sad but true.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big part of everyone's life, and I'm sure there's thousands of people that would be absolutely devastated if this game just got into a decay of, you know, becoming what RuneScape 3 is now. Yikes. That goddamn game. I saw a GIF on Twitter. I quote retweeted it on Twitter, and it's just like a bunch of people. It looked like they were doing divination on something, and I had no idea what exactly they were doing, but it looked atrocious, and it was scary to see. I had no idea. It did not look like RuneScape. It's just not RuneScape anymore.
Oh, was it like the giant pillars and stuff?
I don't know what it is, dude. It's weird.
So it might have been the Halloween event, and it was just fucking weird.
I don't know. Everyone's just,
I tried it for a bit, and I was like, what the hell am I doing?
Yeah, it's weird. Everyone's just, like, in a weird, like, kind of magic stance, putting their arms out, looking like they're constipated, just rocking back and forth, putting, like, air orbs into a giant black hole in the sky or something. I don't know. It looked weird.
Yeah, it's a Halloween event.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just how you're describing it, I'm like, yep, that's a Halloween event.
Yeah.
I don't know how that was much of an event, honestly. You just stand there and click on the fucking pillar and wait. That was the event. No shit.
That seems really fun. That seems adrenaline pumping. I'm glad that content is really kicking off with that community.
Yeah, it was solid.
So, with that in mind, Jagex and the old school team, they really have to take steps to keep this new player base here. Because if not, I mean, a lot of these people are playing for nostalgia right now, which is kind of how we started with Old School RuneScape. I remember I started with Old School RuneScape when it came out in 2013, and I played it for maybe 2-3 months, and then I went back to RuneScape 3. Just because I was just playing purely for nostalgia, and then I came back to it because RuneScape 3 turned into an absolute atrocity. So I came back because I felt like I needed to come here. So I'm at Old School now, as well as everybody else, it seems like. So Jagex and the team, they need to really have a lot of player interaction. They need to be, kind of doing what they... I don't know. I don't know how to word this. They need to definitely be keeping these new guys in mind. Just because, the old school community right now, everyone's super close-knit in a sense. We all know what's going on. We're mostly all in the loop about things of, where old school is and, kind of watching the content outside of the game and kind of understanding everything that's going on. Whereas these new guys are jumping in and they're like, holy shit, look at this stuff. Wow, this is so cool. And it's very easy to spot them, and it's easy to, have them feel out of place or something. And, they have to somehow sink themselves in to the community. And that's kind of hard because of basically how exclusive everything was. Because we truly were a community that was like, give us this fucking game. We want to play old school. Like, we don't want RuneScape 3. So then we got it, and we're like, all right, this is ours now. And now we have all these new guys that don't really have any experience with RuneScape or history about the game that are trying to...
Just like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, like coming in, and they're like, what is this shit? I don't know. So, yeah, I think it's important that, the old school team, along with the rest of the community, needs to really put an effort into getting these guys included and people being helpful and making sure that they're recruiting people into clans and giving them that social aspect that kept us all here in the first place. So I think that's gonna really be a vital part of keeping them around and keeping the game active and keeping those 100K plus average kind of numbers we're seeing every day.
Yeah.
For
sure.
Yeah, I mean, this is cool too because a suggestion from me, which I've had a few ideas myself, but this is huge video making opportunity for people to start making content other than fucking PKing and hardcore Iron Man progress. There's so much that you can teach about this game by giving tutorials or tips and advice and methods and shit like that, and actually having some variety and telling some stories or giving some hints.
So should I go make like a woodcutting guide?
Yeah, woodcutting guide, how to click on a tree, and then maybe what to do with those trees.
How
that you
to
cut.
burn log.
How to burn log in populated bank area and burn everything down.
How to piss off bank officials in one easy step.
Yeah, but yeah, I hope people really take advantage of this. I know I'm gonna try my best to come up with content in my personal style to really I don't know, reach out to the new guys. I know a few new guys have said on my videos that they just started playing and they like the videos.
I saw that actually, a lot of those.
Yeah, so it's
on the mobile video recently.
I mean these guys are gonna be googling shit like crazy. They're gonna be out there
absolutely.
Trying to
like, holy shit, there's a whole video community for this game.
Yeah, there's a lot to learn about this game. It's it's not very complex to us because we've been playing so long, but if you're jumping right in.
Exactly. If you're brand new to this, you're gonna go to YouTube and be like, see all these names like Torvesta, Framed, all them, be like, holy shit, there's like a full on like a fucking massive population of YouTubers for this game.
Yeah, there's a lot to learn.
Crazy.
There's a lot to learn with this game. So I don't know. We have a lot to teach these new people.
Definitely.
To make sure they feel welcomed and they're coming here to stay. So yeah, that's pretty much that. I think all the new memberships and the active people are going to help Jagex fund more things because obviously it's going to bring in some more money. Definitely maybe put some money into that new RuneScape game that they're making, since they made that completely blatantly obvious with the poll they had not too long back, which was like, if you were to see RuneScape aspects,
no RuneScape MMO,
like what would you want to see? And it's like, all these like options to select and all that. And I know there's been quite a few people who have gone down and visited Jagex, and they were like, oh, there's a top secret thing, we can't tell you about it. And then they came out with that poll, and it's like, okay,
like, you just fucking told us what it is.
You just kind of completely exposed that. So curious about that.
Good job.
I hope we'll see like an update about that in the next few months. That'd be cool if they actually hint at that or something. I'm curious to see what they would create for an actual video game or new game.
They've hinted at like new games before, and they just never went through though.
Yeah, that's true.
There was like a Transformers-esque game. And then there was like a Robot Wars kind of thing. They've hinted at the other games before, and they just completely dropped. So I'm curious if they go through with this one or they just leave it in the dust again.
Do you remember? I don't remember when this was. I think it was like 2012 or something. And they were making like a Transformers game or something like that.
That's what I was talking about just now.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, it was a Transformers game, and I remember making an account with like I made multiple accounts with really cool names, like hoping that it would like take off, and I'd be like,
snipe the name,
I'd be like,
just
all right,
install the name.
I'm gonna fucking.
Hey, you want a cool name? I got you, fam.
I was like, I already got my money making method down. Like, sniping all the badass names that people are gonna really, really want. 2 years down.
100 mil per name.
Yeah. I'll be like, you can give me some RuneScape GP for this name I sniped when the game was in alpha. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
But obviously never happened.
Yeah, just fucking nothing happened with it. It was just like left.
Yeah.
It was kind of like the whole. Do you remember when they were? There was another game they actually were gonna make. It was the Idle Adventures. Did you ever see that?
No, I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, there. You know, like cookie clicker games and shit like that. Like, you click shit and you progress into the game. It becomes easier to buy upgrades and shit like that. They had a RuneScape one made.
What?
Yeah, they were making a RuneScape version with the creators of a game called Adventure Capitalist, and it looked really well actually. I was kind of excited to play it. It was coming out to Steam, or it was supposed to come out to Steam. Apparently there is a version of it somewhere, but I don't know if you can still play anymore. But that was also another game Jagex was making. It was a RuneScape themed idle game.
That's weird.
But it never happened. It never took off. Like they just said fuck it and put it in the reject pile. So that's why I'm kind of like, they've done this 3 times now with different games. So I hope that they actually go through with this game this time. I want to see what it is, and I'm curious to see how it goes.
Yeah, that'd be nice to see what else they could do, and I hope they really shy away. I mean, if it's not blatantly obvious that what they're doing with RuneScape 3, everything from the graphics to the way you play, that it's not fucking working, I really hope they just kind of abandon all concepts and ideas from that game and give us what we want, which I'm assuming they will. They're not stupid. They'll, that'd be cool.
Right.
But yeah, this is going to give Jagex more money to do that, so hopefully they go through it. So yeah, speaking of more money and different things that they're doing now, our next topic here is the PvP All-Star Tournament that just happened just this past weekend. Was it Saturday or something?
Yeah, Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday. Pretty much, if you were out of the loop somehow, there was...
Living under a rock.
I think there was 16 people total, 16 quote-unquote all-stars invited to Jagex Studios in London. They were split into 4 groups of 4. For some reason, they just were completely terrible at making an actual bracket, how every other tournament is ever...
That whole setup really kind of confused the shit out of me and everyone else watching.
I could have gone on a bracket generator on Google and made a better bracket.
Threw the 16 names in, and it would just form itself.
I just truly don't understand the logic in what they did.
I don't get it.
I don't know.
It confused the shit out of everyone watching the stream and everything.
Yeah, but anyways, there was this fucky bracket concept that wasn't actually a bracket. 4 groups of 4. They played each other. Somehow they matched up. Each matchup between 2 of the competitors was a best of 3. The first one they would fight with a max.
Oh, the order actually no. It was first. They fought with a 70 defense account.
Oh.
And then it was 1 defense pure, and then it was a 45 defense.
Oh, okay. So it was a 70 account, a 1 defense account, and then a 45 defense account.
Yep.
Okay. Perfect. So yeah, they did a best of 3 with that. Kind of, whoever got the most wins. If you won 2 times, you moved on. So group 1 was Skill Specs, Alfie, Pure Spam, and Abyss. I don't really know who Pure Spam or Abyss is, but
Pure Spam is his name is Ian. He's like a shoutcaster.
Oh, Ian. Okay. Yeah. I remember him. Yeah, the shoutcaster dude.
Yeah.
So
Abyss, I think he's a newer streamer.
Yeah, he's a newer streamer guy. I'm assuming he does PKing since he was invited to this. Group 2 was Mr. Mammal, Mika. Love Mika, by the way. Great guy.
Mika's amazing.
MMORPG and Perp. Perp, I think, has done Deadman stuff before. I'm pretty sure that's where I've seen him.
I know he's a PKer.
Yeah, I'm assuming he's a PKer. He's there. Group 3, Torvesta, Ditterbitter, Foe, and Rakesy. Group 4, Framed, Manked, Bodhi, and Skidler. I didn't watch it much. I know you did. I watched Bodhi take on Framed because I was texting Framed right before he went on stage, and he was about to go on, and he looked good the first fight, and then Bodhi just spanked him the next 2 somehow. Just absolutely destroyed him. My fault. I jinxed him by telling him good luck with a little a red heart. And, Framed didn't make it in, which I was pretty upset about because I
was hoping he would have made it further. I was really pulling for Framed the entire thing.
Yeah, very biased towards that guy. So I was pretty upset to see him, but it was cool to see him fight Bodhi. That was pretty badass.
Oh, yeah, that was an amazing fight.
Yeah. So tournament went on, the bracket shit storm went on, and the final 4 was Bodhi, Manked, Ditterbitter, and Rakesy. Ditterbitter and Manked were in the final with a best of 7. Mank absolutely whopped Ditter. He went undefeated, 15-0, in the whole tournament.
Dude, that was the most crazy thing I've ever witnessed in my life.
Just absolutely dominated. This dude is unreal. So, he took home the $15,000, walked home, made good use of all of our $11, and, he's strutting and strolling down the avenue, just buying Louis Vuitton and Gucci and just really swagging himself out for the next tournament. So that's pretty cool. That's
let's be real here. He's probably buying some bonds, get some more gear on his account.
Oh yeah, the $15,000 going straight to bonds. He's got to get that going.
I mean, that's probably what I'd do with it, honestly.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, cool. Overall thoughts of it though. It was the first of its kind. This has never happened before. They did the Dead Man mode stuff live, all the tournaments and stuff.
They did the clan cups too, but
yeah, that shit. But this was kind of cool.
This was really cool.
It was cool to see. Everyone has the familiar faces up there, so that was awesome. A few things though. All stars is a stretch. I don't agree with the lineup that they kind of gave that. I mean, I'm not the most avid PK community person at all, literally at all ever. But what I do know is that a handful of these guys who were labeled PK All-Stars literally learned how to PK about a week before they went there. I think they were invited there just because of who they are. People know them. It would get more views and more recognition. So that's cool. I'm glad they, got a bunch of people together to really give this a lot of attention because it needed that. I think if they were to have gone the route of just inviting a bunch of good PKers that aren't really known, pretty under the radar, they definitely wouldn't have had the views that they did. But
no, not at all.
I do hope that for the next ones, if they do next ones, which I'm assuming they will, because it
was a big turnout. They're gonna do more, I guarantee.
Yeah. I'm hoping that they reach out to those people who are not well known and who are qualified somehow, and they do come up with a better system to get people there to make it more entertaining.
And give them give the good PKers their spotlight too,
Yeah,
there's some guys out there who would probably wipe the floor with Framed, Bodhi, any of them, and just they have no recognition at all.
Exactly. I think there's a lot of people that obviously we don't really know of that don't care to make videos and post clips and
they probably
stream.
just PK for the fucking fun of it.
And they're just out there
and they're tearing ass up.
sitting up on their computer and wiping through the wilderness like it's nothing, racking up millions and being humble about it, not saying a word. So I'm hoping, that there's some sort of qualifier for the next one and get a bunch of new faces out there, branch out, create more people that people can follow. Just there's so many people that play this game, and I think we really narrow it down to who's watched and who's liked and who's known.
Right. Yeah.
And this community is growing, so I think the content creators, I think the people who are playing the game should make an effort to make themselves known, and we should do our best to encourage it and get people out there that maybe are too hesitant to start making content. And I don't know, there's a lot of potential in the community, I guess is what I'm trying to say here.
There's a ton of potential out there.
So I hope we do see that. Regarding the broadcast itself, I didn't watch much of it. For the times that I did, the little time that I did watch it, which was probably only like 45 minutes, excuse me, I noticed obviously Jagex is not a media professional, that's not their strong suit. They're there making the game, they're game developers. They're learning. They've done their Q&As and stuff on stream, and I think that's about as far as they've gone with production.
Yeah, it is. I'm 99% sure of that.
I don't know the broadcasters' names, but good lord, they were terrible. I gotta be honest.
One of them was Madaiza.
Okay, Madaiza
and then the other guy, I think he was a player.
Okay, yeah.
I can't remember.
Whoever they were, there was some.
I know for sure one of them was Madaiza though.
It was clear that they, they're not broadcasters. That's not what they do for their profession. They're just, they were picked. But I there was a spot that really stuck out to me. It was when Framed was about to fight, where they were talking about Group 4 with Framed, Manked, Bodhi, and Skidler, and they were talking about Framed for a second, and this isn't so much of me having a bias for Framed, it's just the way he worded it. He just goes off and he's like, you know, initially I was going for Framed, but I was watching everyone practice. And,
I remember this.
And, you know, there's just a lot of people that look way better than Framed. You know, he's not as good as I thought he was. I'm like,
dude, I was like, losing
buddy.
my shit. I was like, dude, that's a little fun.
Oh my god, like, fucking.
That was a little uncalled for, man.
Break his arms and elbows while you're at it, dude. Oh my god.
Like, that was just like relentless.
He just absolutely went for the chokehold, did not hold back. I mean,
I'm sure Frame was like in the backstage listening. Is like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
man?
I mean, I'm sure it was for like an audience reaction. They had the Twitch chat going, but I was like, jeez, like, calm down a little bit there. That was crazy.
Went right for his throat, man.
Oh man. But you know, they were boofs. So it was that was all I had to say. It did take a little bit. My complaint was, you know, how long it took for the setups. You know,
oh yeah, that was annoying as shit.
Switching between the groups and introducing everyone. It was
they half streamed it.
They
didn't stream all the fights.
Oh yeah, that was weird too.
Like, some fights are like, oh yeah, off stream, so-and-so versus so-and-so. It's like, show the fucking fights!
Yeah. Yeah, it was weird. And also, I don't...
really weird.
I think also, another thing is they let the dudes who were on stage, they let them stream off their own channels. Like, they were like, oh, if you want to watch from his perspective, go here.
Yeah.
Part of me is like, okay, that's cool. You know, it's another way to get more people watching. But at the same time, I feel like everyone's attention should be on the main broadcast, and I feel like
not plugging other streams.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know. I guess it's cool.
It should have been all on one stream.
Exactly. I think they should be recording the screens. I think they could do
highlights.
Exactly.
Or, you know.
Show perspective. Show what they do, like after a good kill or after a good.
They could have split screened it easily.
Yeah. There's so many different things they could have done rather than be like, well, if you want to go watch him, head on to his Twitch chat over here.
Go fuck yourself if you don't feel like having an extra Twitch tab open.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think they could have done that better. I don't think they should have all. I really don't think they should have done it all in one day. I know people have time constraints and they have schedules in their real life. But I truly feel like this should be a 2-day event, like a Friday night to set all through Saturday kind of thing.
That would probably have been a lot better, honestly, because it would have been, everyone could have not been so rushed towards the end of it.
I feel like we should have seen all the fights. I don't really think that they should have been, you know, having things go behind the scenes and, you know, just recapping what happened later on. I think you should be able to see all the fights. Everyone's there. Everyone's flown out. They're in London. They're there for the event, so you know, give them. They don't
even get their fight on the main stage. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
man?
You know, give them their highlight. Give them their spotlight. They deserve it. You guys invited them out there for a reason. They should be completely showcased the way that you want them to be. I'm sure I would feel like I would feel like I got absolutely slapped in the face if I went there, got flown out to fight, and you know, they didn't even show it on the stream, and they were showing 2 other cuck faces that were fighting instead. And, you know, I won. I had, like, the best move of my life, and I was like, oh, my God.
No one saw it.
And then they were like, oh, yeah, that was good. We'll let everyone know. We'll let them know that you won. Oh, okay, thanks.
Can you show the 30-30 DDS spec or something? No. We'll just say that you won, though.
Yeah, we'll adjust the bracket. We'll let them know. You're good. We'll keep them in the loop. Good job, though.
Okay, I'll just go fuck myself in the backstage then, I guess.
Yeah. So I think, you know, there's a lot more on the production side they could have done better. But I don't know. Well, it was the first. It was the first. They were the guinea pigs.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we'll see.
I'm sure there's gonna be improvement.
We'll definitely see improvement down the line. So that was cool. Yeah, hiccups. I heard on Reddit. I didn't see it myself. Someone had posted something about skill specs first fight. Having to like
train wreck.
They had to like restart twice, and then he like.
It was more than
gear.
that. It was more than twice. It was like 5 times they had to restart this fucking.
Did
match.
you see it? What happened? I don't know.
The first time, or the first few times, it was they didn't bring enough gear. Someone forgot bolts, or they forgot water runes, or just something stupid like that. Then at one point, the arena glitched to where it stopped the fight completely.
Huh.
Like the arena they were fighting in completely like took away their attack options.
That's weird.
It just completely broke.
Yeah,
And I'm pretty sure it was around that I can't remember who skill specs was fighting, but the person he was fighting is about to win, and it just stopped. And then he's fighting Alfie. He was fighting Alfie, and Alfie's about to win this, and then the stage glitched out, and then skill specs won, and it kicked Alfie out of the tournament.
That's so weird.
So Alfie should have went on, but he lost due to a quote-unquote technicality.
That's so weird.
It's almost everyone in the chat was calling rigged. Like everyone wanted like skill specs to move on rather than Alfie, and I could see where they were like everyone was thinking that. I was thinking like, what the fuck? That's really fucking stupid, man.
Yeah.
So Alfie should have moved on, but instead skill specs moved on.
Yeah.
So it was really fucked up. And I didn't agree with that shit at all, but it is what it is. Can't change it.
That's weird.
But it was just really stupid how that's set up.
Huh.
But at one point, skill specs also switched his gear. He wore, I think at one of the fights, he wasn't allowed to wear carols or something like that, and he brought it in anyways. So they should have disqualified him for that. But
yeah, that sounds like a huge disqualifying factor there.
They really should have disqualified him for that. Then he's like, "Oh, it was an honest mistake, I swear."
Yeah.
No, I think you're trying to cheat in that D-hide there, buddy.
Yeah, little sketch there.
But yeah, there was a lot of hiccups all over the place in those fights.
Yeah.
It was. I wish I could remember exact details, but it was a few days ago, and it was like a 10-hour stream that I watched. So.
It's really long. It was a really long stream.
It was a very, very long tournament. I thought maybe it'd be like maybe a good 4 or 5 hours tops.
Yeah.
Hell fucking no.
Like I said, that needs to be split into 2 days. If you're getting flown out there, get a day off work. I don't know. You're going to London. I mean, you plan ahead. I know. I think there were complaints that this was it was not very well planned. It was very short notice. And people, if they're going to take off work, they need like a month or two in advance.
Oh yeah. I think this thing was planned like 2 months ago.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's nowhere near enough like ahead of time to get everything set up.
Yeah. I don't know. I think there was definitely some technicalities.
Maybe it's about 6 months, and 6 months ahead of time. That'd be a good enough time to say, hey, look, in 6 months from now, we're gonna have this tournament. Is there enough time to kind of prepare?
Yeah, but I agree.
Like, you have 8 weeks. Get your shit together. Figure it out.
Yeah, more for. I mean, not even so much for. I think 6 months is a little stretchy, but
maybe, but
I don't know. I think that one of the main issues is the alternative competitors. That was kind of a shit show. I don't know if anyone who was initially picked backed out, but I do know that the people who were like waiting to see if they were gonna like be picked and get flown out there were like,
oh yeah,
can you fucking tell me like
Rixie?
Yeah, was he not initially there?
Because of Sick Nerd dropped out.
Oh, okay, that's what it was.
He was sick.
Okay.
Yeah, Sick Nerd got sick. Funny.
That's a good one.
Anyway, Sick Nerd dropped out, so it was a fight between Sea Engineer and Rixie. They didn't stream the fight, but winner of that fight went into the tournament, so Rixie won.
Okay.
And so Rixie had like I think a day or two to fly out.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Or no, he fought the day before the tournament.
Oh wow.
They fought the day before the tournament.
Where's
so they didn't know who was flying out there.
Do we know where Rixie's from? He's American, I'm guessing?
He's from the UK, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, he's from the UK. Okay. I've never heard him talk or anything. I didn't watch his fights or anything. But
I don't know if he lives near Jagex.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I don't know if they flew Sea Engineer and Rixie out there to do the fight. I don't know. They never said.
Yeah.
But either way, like, Sick Nerd drops out like the same week of the tournament. So they're like, oh, okay, hey, Sea Engineer and Rixie, I guess you guys got to battle it out at the last minute here.
Yeah, that's
So that was yeah.
That's a little rough.
I don't know the backstory on that one, but Yeah, that's how Rakesy got in the tournament.
Gotcha. Another thing that I personally saw, I don't mean to be dick riding Framed here. I feel like I am a little bit, but Framed in the Bodhi fight, obviously they went to fight 3. They went 1-1, and then for the 45 defense fight,
the double death.
They got the double death, which was insane.
That was crazy.
What the fuck? And then they did the damage dealt determiner.
Okay, this part pissed me off.
This was really stupid.
Pissed me off.
When I heard they were doing that, I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Like that's how you're gonna determine this?" Basically basically what they did was they calculated who dealt the most damage throughout the fight, and whoever did that won, rather than fucking rematching. A 5-minute rematch would have determined everything, more entertainment, but they were just like, oh yeah, no, that amazing scenario that just blew everyone's fucking minds. Yeah, no, that's it's just damage dealt. We'll just do that. It's a RuneScape fight. It'll take 10 minutes of delay
maximum.
At most. Just fucking do another fight. I mean, I guess
that would be really entertaining to watch.
I'm sure not everyone agrees with me here, but I feel like that was pretty shitty. I don't think that should have been the determiner. I think you have two extremely popular content creators who are up against each other, and that's how you're gonna solve it, knowing damn well it's gonna be controversial as shit and everyone's gonna hate you. And like,
I mean, they could have typed any number they fucking wanted to in that damage calculator.
Dude, the view count during the time went from like 38,000 to like 48,000 when it was like 52. Yeah, it was like 52,000 when these guys got up to the stage. I'm like, you guys just lost so many viewers for another like 15 minutes that you could have had them, just because these two like got kicked off the stage off of like debatably the best situation that happened the whole tournament. So I don't know, that was really dumb. But
I would have really liked to see another refight. But
yeah, it is what it is. Maybe they'll do something on the side, away.
It was like a measly 16 damage too that Bodhi won by.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Like, I was like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah, that's wild. But yeah, that pretty much covers most of what I wanted to talk about for the PvP tournament. Like I said, I hope they do.
Wraps it up.
I hope they do more. I hope they get more people qualified, do the method of, getting people that aren't known but actually have like a ton of skill and can put on a show, basically. I think that's what it's going to be about, is, getting people out there that can really stun the audience and really set themselves apart. Because, I mean, as good as these guys were that were up there, the only reason that they're perceived as really good is because they make videos and people think that about them. Which, saying they're not super fucking good, because they are, but like I said,
keep in mind, a lot of them edit out the times that they die when they're PK.
Yeah, I mean, they're not perfect. They're not the perfect PKers.
No, of course not.
And there's definitely people out there with a shit ton more skill that weren't seen. So I think they should make an effort to really find those guys, and people should practice a lot more and get better, because PKing is debatably at like the pinnacle of PKing is right now. I think they have so many methods now that are just unheard of, that require so much practice and getting down to a science that it takes a lot of skill and patience and practice to really dominate out there, that only people that do this full time as like a video maker can really practice. But people that are out there that are actually doing well and fucking just destroying everybody, nobody knows about them
out there.
Yeah, so I think they should definitely make an effort to find those people. That'd be cool. But yeah, that's about it for the PvP tournament. But yeah, so moving on. Normally, what I want to do from here on out, I know I've mentioned him about 500 times this podcast. And people are gonna suspect that we're kissing behind the scenes. But
I mean, I was about to say that, but I guess you beat me to it.
I talked to Framed. He said he would be down to be our first guest. There's tons of things to ask him about. He's been around for a really long time. He's done an assortment of things as a player and a video maker. So we'll get him on here.
What a guy.
And get a little more insight about his stuff. He's probably gonna be our first guest. But he's not here right now, obviously. so he's gonna be our first one, and after that,
no one showed up this time.
We really want to, shoot for a bunch more. We want to get as many, well-known people on here as possible, just to talk about, what they do, where they've come from, and how they got to where they are. Interesting stories that they have to tell. Everyone has so many stories on this game, and it'd be interesting to, hear about some stuff that no one knows about. So we're gonna shoot for more of the PKers, the streamers, that kind of deal. I want to really shoot for some old school content creators, like old school. I'm talking like actual.
Oh yeah, like way back
2007,
in the day.
2008.
All right, let's go find Lucky Bucket.
Yeah, Lucky Bucket, Bum 007, Shizzle. I know I just talked to Max Poison somehow. Gizzy Gaza, I've been talking to him. I had just helped him with a video. He's getting back into RuneScape for anyone who remembers him. And then the absolute peak of my career, if I were to ever get to Noob Show to get on and talk to us throughout this,
shit my pants.
Mark my words, I'm gonna make it happen throughout the duration of us running this podcast. I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna find this fuck. I'm gonna contact him.
It's gonna be our mission to find him and get him on the show.
We're gonna have the best fucking conversation with Noob Show of all time, and it's gonna go down in history. Because we want to talk to this guy. Where the fuck is he? Where has he been? Why is he hiding under a rock? I want a search team. I want a Navy SEAL. I want Navy SEALs, Code Red, Alpha Alpha Bravo, fucking finding this guy however they can, and I want to talk to him. So that's that. We want to get to know the RuneScape.
If you're watching, we need you.
we need you to Noob Show. He's secretly watching all of my videos, just proud, shedding tears each video, knowing someone's still doing the shameless. But yeah, I mean, we want to get to know the RuneScape community inside and out. We want to ask some funny questions, get some good stories, and have a good time. So hopefully, starting next podcast, we'll get framed on here and start that up. Maybe we'll get 2 guests sometimes. Who knows? We'll see. We're just gonna play it by ear and have a good time with it. So to wrap things up, a quick thing about sponsors. If you're interested in sponsoring things to get things rolling,
I'm so sorry.
We might have to, toss some guests some cash to get them on here. They have busy schedules if they do this for a living, if they're a content creator. Maybe get some better production gear. I'm literally using the same microphone I've used since 2015. Hellwind, God help him, he finally got a good mic not too long ago. But if we want to take this seriously, we're going to have to invest in some better stuff. This is about the most scuffed recording method of all time. I'm going to do my best to polish it, but yeah, that's that. Those are part of the $10 Patreon group on my Patreon are automatically sponsors now, so congratulations. I'm going to go ahead and edit all the rewards and stuff that you get on there. So if you do that, you're automatically supporting us. So shout out to Caleb Beiter, Michael Shield, and Ryan Hall. You guys are the $10 Patreon still. God bless you for staying in that.
Damn.
If you're interested in becoming a sponsor away from the Patreon, or you have a business or something like that you'd like to pitch just between conversations or before an interview, get a hold of me on my Discord or my business email on the channel. Or if you'd like to become a patron and hear your name at the end of the podcast and get a shout out, the link's down below for that. So that's enough of me selling out. We're excited to get the ball rolling here. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you made it this long, I hope we can continue this. We'll have some longer episodes. We'll have some more conversations. If you have ideas for topics that you'd like to hear about, just leave them below. If you have someone you'd like to see, maybe we can get in contact with them, get them on here, ask them some questions. Anything that you guys have, any suggestions you guys have, we'd love to hear them. We're going to look at all the comments, so feel free. If you guys want to join a Discord, we have a pretty... You're good. If you want to check out the Discord, I have the link down in the description. We have a huge community. There's about 1,500 members in there right now. We have a good time. We voice chat. We have events sometimes. So go in there. If you need a clan chat in game, J1mmy. Don't be a toxic little shit. We'll get you out of there real quick. But other than that, follow me on Twitter. Follow Hellwind on Twitter and his Twitch. And I have a Facebook page. All that's just down there. Just go look in the description. That's that. Hellwind, you got anything else?
Yeah, I apologize for the dog barking in the background for one. But
bring it to the pound.
Maybe, I don't know.
Can't ruin the first episode.
He's kind of a little shit. I know he's running the first episode on me. It's just like we have a good show going, all of a sudden he's like, hey, fuck you, man.
Yeah, what a dickhead.
But this was a lot of fun. I'm excited to do more of these, and good times, good shit. Hopefully you guys enjoyed our little shit show here.
Yeah, good times,
I think
good shit.
you shouted out my stream and stuff in the description there, so thank you very much.
Yep. Absolutely.
And, yeah,
all right.
I think that'll sum it up.
All right, good deal. All right, everybody, take it easy, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in to the first episode of Bankstandin. Special shout out to Presleek for making Hellwind and I's little characters that you saw on screen. Go ahead and follow her down below, and we'll see you next time.